Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and good morning to all my lovely students. I warmly welcome you back to the class of Social Studies. Students, as you know that this is your teacher, your Social Studies teacher, Miss Sunagira, and today we are back with another revision lecture because we have completed all the chapters. Even we started learning many of the chapters from which we had learned many of the chapters again. Now today we are having another revision lecture. So let's see which chapter we are going to start. As you know that this is your revision class, so I want your maximum participation. I want students to raise the hand if I ask any question. Students are supposed to take active participation in this class, okay, because this is a revision class and we had revised all the things many of the times, so now these things must be memorized by you on the fingertips. So if you see that picture, the thing which comes in your mind is the name of this chapter. I know that all of you can tell me the name of this chapter. Here appears the name of this chapter, that is the Great Mughals. The chapter that we are going to relearn today is the Great Mughals. Let's relate it with our previous lectures. So, guys, as you know that we have done 5 chapters in final term. So, in yesterday's class, we had completely discussed the sources of energy. Okay, before that, we have done the revision test, even the written revision test of chapter longitude, latitude, and looking at the land. And the chapter, which was the last chapter of the final term, that was climate of Pakistan, that were discussed in detail. Okay, so almost all the chapters we have covered very properly, very keenly. So that is why I have taken another chapter which we recently discussed as well. Okay, but recently we discussed more of the chapters, so that is why I've taken this one. So I want your participation. So this was the 4th chapter of the final term, and it is on page number 74 of your book. In this chapter, we mainly learned about the Mughal Empire, right? The Mughal Empire, we learned about the Mughal Empire, that what is Mughal Empire? The time period from which the Mughal started ruling over this region, the subcontinent, their empire lasted for more than 200 years. So that time duration, including different countries, is called as Mughal Empire, right? So here we are talking about the Muslim Mughal emperors. So here comes the list of main Muslim Mughal emperors. If we see that the Mughal Empire lasted for 7 generations, so this word generation which we are using is indicating that they all are belonging with each other. How they all are belonging with each other? So first, here are the names listed over here in front of you. The first Mughal Emperor Babur, the second one Humayun, the third one Akbar, the fourth one Jahangir, fifth one Shah Jahan, the sixth one Aurangzeb, and the last one Bahadur Shah Zafar. So all these are like these Mughal emperors are generations of each other. For example, Humayun was the son of Babur, Akbar was the son of Humayun, Jahangir was the son of Akbar, Shah Jahan was the son of Jahangir. Likewise, the generation lasted for 7 generations: one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is why we call that, we just say that the Mughal Empire lasted for 7 generations. Number one point, the Mughal Empire lasted for more than 200 years. For more than 200 years. It started from 15th to 16th century and it ended in 18th century. We will come to know that how Bahadur Shah Zafar was defeated by British, and we'll see the year in which he was defeated. And from 1526 Babur was died. It means in 50s, 15s if we see. So the Mughal Empire started. Now the very important thing comes over here, the ancestors. I told you that what our ancestors, we are the descendants of our ancestors, right? So likewise, here we are talking about the Mughal emperors. Now we know that the first Mughal emperor or the founder of the Mughal empire was Babur, because he was the very first Mughal emperor, right? So we'll see that how his generation started coming and from which generation he came. So if we see his mother, so his mother was from the generation of Genghis Khan, and his father Umar Sheikh was from generation of Taimur. We call it as Tamerlan as well. Amir Taimur, right? So that is why we say that the ancestors of Mughals were Genghis Khan and Tamerlan. Tamerlan is the word that we use for Taimur, right? So you must know that Mughals are the descendants of Genghis Khan and Tamerlan, and Tamerlan and Genghis Khan were the ancestors of Babur and rest of the Mughal emperors. Now here comes the very first Mughal emperor, Babur. So as I told you in the beginning that I want the students to take active participation. So is there anyone who wants to tell me about Babur? Is there anyone who wants to tell me about Babur? Yes, Maham, tell me.
Babur was a first Mughal emperor
Okay.
and the founder of Mughal dynasty.
Yes, he was the founder of Mughal dynasty. Very good. Has he written some of the story of his life?
Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi at the Battle of Panipat in 1526 CE.
Okay.
He was the elder son of
Umar Sheikh.
Umar Sheikh.
Okay, yes, Ilsa. Tell me something about Babur. Ilsa Tanzeel.
Yes, miss.
Yes, beta, tell us something about Babur.
Um, Babur was the first of the Mughal emperors,
Okay.
and he also wrote a book of his life called Baburnama.
Okay. Anything else? Did he fight any battle?
Yes,
Which one?
Panipat
Was that the
in
first battle
20
of Panipat or the second battle? Was that the first battle of Panipat or the second one?
first.
First. Okay. Who was the winner in this battle? Babur or
Babur.
okay, yes. Ibrahim Lodi was defeated and Babur was the winner. Yes, you're right. Good. Yes, Amna. Amna, can you hear me?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, beta, tell us something about Babur.
Babur was the first Mughal emperor and the founder of Mughal dynasty.
Okay.
And
Yes, Amna. Yes, Amna, speak a beta. What do you know about the Mughal Emperor Babur?
Yes, Babur was the first
Speak
Mughal
aloud.
emperor.
Speak aloud.
Hmm?
Beta, you are very slow. Please speak aloud. Hamna, can you hear me?
Yes, miss.
Speak aloud.
Babur was the first Mughal emperor and he was the eldest son of Umar Sheikh Mirza and great-grandson of Taimur. Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi at the First Battle of Panipat and he founded the Mughal Empire.
Okay, very good. Okay, meet yourself, Hamna. Now here comes the second Mughal Emperor Humayun. Humayun, the very first point you need to know is that Humayun was the son of Babur, okay, and Babur was the son of Umar Sheikh. Umar Sheikh was the ruler of Farghana, but he was not considered as Mughal Emperor. So the Mughal Empire started from Babur, not from Umar Sheikh. So that is why Babur was the first Mughal emperor, and Humayun became the second Mughal emperor. So he was the son of Babur, and after Babur's death, his son Humayun succeeded to the throne in 1530 AD. Babur had left a vast empire extending from Badakhshan in Central Asia to Bihar in India. So basically, you need to know over here is that here mainly we are talking about the subcontinent, the region of India and Pakistan, right? So here we should know that Babur was a strong kind of ruler, but when it comes on his son Humayun was like a weak ruler and he was defeated by an Afghan chief. The name of that Afghan chief was Sher Shah Suri, and the real name of Sher Shah Suri was Sher Khan, right? So what happened? Initially, Babur was defeated by Sher Shah Suri, okay, in 1540. In 1540, right? But after 15 years, it means in 1555, there was another battle named as Second Battle of Panipat. I told you that Panipat is the name of place. Okay, I gave you this task in physical classes and we discussed about it. So the first Battle of Panipat was fought by Babur. In that war or battle, Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi, Rana Sanga, and different rulers of that time. And Humayun, in the second battle of Panipat, he was succeeded to defeat Sher Shah Suri. Sher Shah Suri defeated him in 1540, but he defeated Sher Shah Suri in 1555. It means after 15 years. But as we learned in the book as well, that he could not enjoy his kingdom for a long time because within 6 months he died. How did he die? He died falling from the library stairs. Okay, this was the information you should know about Humayun. Now let's come to the third one, Akbar, the great Mughal. Right? So Akbar is considered as the king of kings, Badshahon ka Badshah. That is why we call him as the great Mughal or the greatest Mughal among all. Akbar the Great. We call him as Akbar the Great. Why we call him the Great? Because when Humayun was died in 1556, within 6 months of his kingdom, he died falling from the library stairs. After his death, his son Akbar, who was that time only 16 years old, he was 16 years old and when he became the king. So he was illiterate himself, but he tried to modernize his kingdom by bringing new reforms. It means he has brought many of the things in his government, in his ruling, right? So he was the great lover of art, and he was the great lover of learning. He was himself illiterate, but he was a kind of man who always promoted art and learning, right? So this is how we can see that an illiterate person who is not who is not literate himself, still he is able to identify that what is right for his kingdom, what to bring in his kingdom. So that is why he is considered as the great Mughal among all. That is why we call him as Akbar the Great, right? So after, okay, here you can see in the last paragraph that he is considered as king of kings. right? If we talk about his territory where he ruled, that includes Afghanistan, central main portion of the Central Asia, okay, including the India as well. When we talk about after the death of Akbar, his son Jahangir, his son Jahangir became the ruler. His son became the Mughal emperor. So the name of Jahangir was Salim. You might have heard this name, Shahzada Salim. So basically, this name is just indicating Jahangir. Now you can see in the very first line that it is written Nuruddin Muhammad Salim, known by his imperial name Jahangir, was born on 30th August 1569 as the fourth Mughal emperor who ruled from 1605 until his death 1627. So he ruled for many years. The one point which is important about him is that his real name was Salim, and we can remember the complete name as well, that is Nuruddin Muhammad Salim. Right? Number two, Jahangir is the name with which he is famous for being a Mughal. It means when we write his name as a Mughal, so we always write Jahangir. Otherwise, his name was Salim or Nuruddin Muhammad Salim. Another point which is important regarding Jahangir is that he was you can say that he is thought to be the patron of Mughal painting school. When I told you about Babur, that Babur is considered as the promoter of art and learning, and his son Jahangir also promoted the art and learning. So he is thought to be the patron of Mughal painting school, right? And yes, he's considered as the great lover of nature. Now, after Jahangir, here comes about the Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan is like his name was Shahabuddin Muhammad Shah Jahan. He was born on 5th January 1594. He was the fifth Mughal emperor of India. He is also known as Shah Jahan I. We'll not go to the detail of that why we have written here one or why we sometimes write as two, because you will learn these things in your when you go for the when you will be in class like 7 or 8, okay, because it is like detailed topic. So Shah Jahan assumed the Mughal throne on the 24th January 1628 in Agra, a few days after the death of Jahangir. So first point we should know about Shah Jahan is that he was the son of Jahangir. As we know that all the Mughals are coming from generation by generation, all the Mughals are having a similar tree of generation. So Shah Jahan was the son of Jahangir. Shah Jahan is more famous for making the architecture structures, for his architecture. We know that many of the buildings he built, and he got the buildings built, right? Among which the most famous is Taj Mahal, that is known as Mumtaz Mahal. Why it is known as Mumtaz Mahal? Because the name of his wife for whom he just got that building built, the name of his wife was Mumtaz. So that is why Taj Mahal is also known as Mumtaz Mahal. And it is really, you can see that it is amazing, the structure is amazing, and the things, the stones, the metal which is used over there for making that Taj Mahal is outstanding. That is why it is considered as one of the adventure of the world that comes in the wonder of the world. Now here you can see one more thing, that not only the Taj Mahal, but many of the other buildings like Big Fort he built. Other than these two buildings, there are many more which we can remember as that who built these buildings? Shah Jahan. Okay. Here comes the picture of Taj Mahal. and Big Four. You can see, and you might have seen on the internet, that is very famous. Now, here we are talking about the second last Mughal emperor, second longest ruler ruling empire after Akbar. The longest ruling was of Akbar, and the second longest ruling was of Mughal emperor Aurangzeb. The title which is given to the Aurangzeb is Alamgir. You all know that, right? So he was a kind of religious person. If we compare all the Mughal emperors with each other, so we'll find him more religious than all, right? So he was not the greatest Mughal like Akbar. Akbar was the greatest Mughal, but he was the one who just ruled for a long time after Akbar. Okay, so second longest ruling emperor after Akbar. He was a kind of religious person. He was a kind of Sufi, and the empire, the Mughal empire, got weakened in his time. Okay, because as a ruler he could not perform well. So that is why the Mughal empire got weakened in the time of Aurangzeb Alamgir. He was also like involved in making buildings, but as I told you that he's kind of religious person, so he built Badshahi Mosque. The Badshahi Mosque that is in Lahore is built by Aurangzeb. Okay, so first for sometimes students get confused that whenever they have been asked for name the ruler who built buildings, they just think that only Shah Jahan was there who built the buildings, and sometimes you have been given the option as the Badshahi Mosque. So students do not consider that particular word. They just think that this is a kind of building, so this must have been built by Shah Jahan. So, beta, this is not so. Okay, we need to remember that he was also involved in making buildings or architecture, right? So, when it comes on Badshahi Mosque, we need to remember that Badshahi Mosque was built by Aurangzeb. And where is the Badshahi Mosque? That is in Lahore. Here comes the picture of Badshahi Mosque that is in Lahore. Maybe you have visited it or not. Okay. So this is also one of the this is among the famous buildings even of the world. Okay, and this was built by Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. Now let's talk about the last Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar. Right. So the last Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar, the reason of being the last Mughal emperor was the weakening of the Mughal Empire, which started from the time of Aurangzeb Alamgir. When you go in class 6, you will learn more details about it. That the actual reason was The actual reason started from 1600s when the East India Company came. I gave you a review of this thing in your physical class. I don't know whether you remember or not. Okay, so Bahadur Shah Zafar was not only the reason for for the empire to be broken, but there were certain other reasons as well. Okay, he was not only the one due to whom the empire got weakened. Many of the Mughals, just they were not that much responsible that they should have been. So that is why the Mughal empire got weakened year by year, especially in 18th century, right? So if we see the things regarding Bahadur Shah Zafar, so he was the last Mughal emperor. He was awesome poet, and he also wrote many ghazals. He was a kind of poet. If we talk about the Aurangzeb, so he was the Sufi, right? Bahadur Shah Zafar was the poet as well. The British exiled him from Delhi and sent him to Rangoon, Burma, a city of British control. So he has been arrested and he has been sent to the jail of Rangoon. Rangoon is a name of city that is in Burma. Okay, so that was under the British control that time. So that is why he was captured, he was arrested, and he was sent to the Rangoon. Okay, and he died on November 7, 1862 AD. Rangoon, but India also no. Okay, Burma. Now, here comes the questions. Who were the ancestors of Mughal emperor? Who were the ancestor of Mughal emperor? Yes, Iraj, tell me beta. Iraj, I have given you the access to unmute yourself, beta.
Miss,
Yes.
the ancestors of Mughals were Genghis Khan and Tamerlane.
Genghis Khan and
Tamerlane.
okay. Who was the Mongol ruler and who was the Turk conqueror?
The Mongol ruler was Genghis Khan and the Turk conqueror was Tamerlane.
Very good. Okay. Mute yourself now. Now here comes the very easy question in front of you. Who was the founder of Mughal dynasty? I want students to raise the hand. Yes, Maham.
Babur was the founder of Mughal dynasty.
Yes, very good. Babur was the founder of Mughal dynasty. And why he was the founder of Mughal dynasty? Because he was the first Mughal emperor. He was the one who founded the Mughal dynasty. The one who was the very first Mughal. Of course, he was supposed to found the Mughal dynasty. So that is why he's considered as the founder of Mughal dynasty. Now, what do you know about Sher Shah Suri? What do you know about Sher Shah Suri? Yes, Khazra, what do you know about the Sher Shah Suri? Hello. Yes, Khazra, beta, I think there is some echo from your side. Beta, your voice is not clear, so that is why I muted you. I want someone else to answer me. And the turn goes to Shahir. I want you to answer me. Shahir Ahmed. Yes, Ali bin Salman. Ali, can you
Sher
hear
Shah
me?
Suri was an Afghan.
Okay.
Yes,
Speak up.
Sher Shah Suri was an Afghan chief
Okay.
who,
Who?
who
Who defeated
ruled
whom?
for 15.
Okay. Who ruled for 15 years? Okay, fine. Okay, beta, can you please tell me that what was the real name of Sher Shah Suri?
Sher Khan.
Yes, very good. The real name of Sher Shah Suri was Sher Khan. Very good. So I want someone else to answer me this question because I want more information regarding Sher Shah Suri. Yes, Amna, I want you to answer me. Amna Hasham. Yes, beta.
Is your voice is not clear?
Beta, speak aloud.
your voice is not clear. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Yes.
Beta, there's a question on the screen. What do you know about Sher Shah Suri? Can you please answer me this question?
Yes, miss.
Okay, beta, speak up. And please speak aloud.
Miss, I can't hear you.
Beta, I'm asking the answer of the question which is on the screen. Just read the question from screen and answer me.
What do you know about Sher Shah Suri?
Yes. Can you please answer me?
Okay, miss. Sher Shah Suri. Um.
Okay, beta, your meeting can be ended anytime. So, Allah Hafiz in advance. And you can